All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to this Bowls SA and Spacequake stream for the Men's Country Carnival Singles Final. I'm Isaac Trenorden from Bowls SA, and I'm joined here with Ian Haslett, better known as Chook. Welcome back, mate.
Hello, Isaac. Did you enjoy your lunch?
Absolutely. Not much beats a Bowls Club lunch when it's done right.
Well done to the Marion Bowling Club, which is where we're at, and we're looking forward to this final. Wrigley making his way through on the last bowl of the game against Smithy from Laura, Gary Smith, and we witnessed Gerrin Jenke, his performance against the commonly called Bushy. You called him Bushy, but what a great couple of semi-finals, and we're really looking forward to this final. Streaky Bay versus Berri.
That's exactly right. Streaky Bay would be nearly one of the furthest clubs, I think, to travel to Adelaide, wouldn't it?
Ceduna, you'd have some Ceduna bowlers, I would think. But yeah, it's a fair hike, and I think that's something that needs to be mentioned as well. And I know you don't take it for granted at Bowls SA, and I know you personally don't take it for granted either, Isaac, that a lot of people, they put a lot of time and effort and money into coming to these carnivals because they're travelling big distances, paying for accommodation, etc., and really good to see so many different people from different areas of regional South Australia being here, which is great to see.
It is. So looks like Mark's won the toss, got the mat, rolling jack. Both players using arrows. Mark's using Aero Optima, whereas Gerrin is using Aerodynamic. So should see a little bit more turn out of Mark's bowls. It'll be very interesting to watch this game pan out.
One thing that's interesting, Isaac, and it will be emphasised, and I'm sure people will mention it, but the fact that it's on the same rink as what the semi-final was played. Gerrin Jenke, the advantage of playing on this rink in the semi-final, but both players were asked, and both players happy to play on this rink, which is great.
Exactly right. I think we see it so often.
That's a good start, isn't it?
It certainly is. We see it so often in so many tournaments. There's a TV rink, and many of them sit on there. I think for this carnival-style atmosphere, it feels right. So,
and with the green, the standard of the green, the way that it is, there's no differential between one rink and the next. I don't think it's very even across the board. The curator here at Marion has done a marvellous job.
That's it. The green behind us, actually, Chook, has been rolled for probably the last nearly 2 hours, I reckon. Hour and a half. It's quite impressive.
Do you get itchy feet? Do you feel like getting out and bowling yourself?
Like you wouldn't believe. Day like today, sun's out.
Yep. 2 shots so far to Mark Wrigley from Streaky. The differential in the colour of the bowls is a little bit similar compared to the last game that we commentated, but the yellow and darker colour versus the yellow and green. But currently 2 shots holding for Mark Wrigley. Wind's probably picked up a little bit since the first game, Isaac.
Yeah, it's definitely a good point to pick up on. It was sort of just a nice gentle breeze, the occasional little gust in there this morning, but now it's just the typical solid breeze that you get here at Marion. Still coming over the top of the commentary tent, which is, I guess, not as typical for here at Marion. So it'll be interesting if that does swing around at any point during this game.
Good crowd gathered here too, which is good to see.
Yeah, there would have been at least 50 people inside having lunch.
Yep. That one shot currently for Mark Wrigley. Big cheerio to all the people that are sending through text messages saying that they're watching or that they've got any comments or wishing the players luck. It's good to see. Hopefully enjoying the coverage and Speaking of enjoying, I think Mark Wrigley's enjoying this bowling green. He's currently holding 1, but I'm not sure whether my eyes are deceiving me. It'd almost be 2, I reckon, Isaac.
Yeah, it did look like 2. From where we're sitting, it looks like it's pretty much definitely 2.
First to 21 in the semi-final, first to 21 in the final.
That's it. Jenke not far away, needs a clear run here. Just running out of steam. It's a fantastic effort. It means 1 shot to mark to get this singles final underway.
Marker shows the yellow marker for the streaky player in Wrigley. Cheerio to Melissa, who's in Berri. He's a cousin. She's a cousin to Gerrin. So wishing all the best. And Warren, who's in Bundaberg, in Queensland. Sort of half tempted to go into the front bar and maybe get a Bundaberg rum after reading that comment there, Isaac. Probably a bit early in the day for that. Big cheerio to everyone who's watching. Hopefully you're enjoying the coverage and hopefully you're enjoying your afternoons. Entertainment. Basically jack high. An easier win for Jenke in the semi-final. Wrigley having to absolutely fight tooth and nail to win 21-20 in his semi-final. Great quality game. Both semi-finals were. We were lucky enough to be sitting in a position where we were commentating one and watching another at the same time. It was very entertaining. Gary Smith from Laura losing basically on the last bowl of the day. But Mark Wrigley deserved the win. He played very well.
It's typically how you do lose a singles game, by the way, Chook.
Yeah, sorry. Last bowl of the day. Last bowl of the day generally means that's the reason why it's the last one, because you've lost. So, no, good call.
But it was
20 all. It was 20 all.
And there was no bowls left.
And there was no bowls left. So that's probably the better way of me explaining it. But thanks, Isaac, for that.
It was an opportunity for a cheap jab early.
Yeah, no, nothing wrong with that.
Jenke on the forehand here. Typically they're going to be the wider side, at least for the start of this game. Just running out of steam, really. The track wasn't horrific.
Special call out to Spacequake, who's doing the live streaming for us. We've almost got enough cameras to film a small production of I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here in the Jungle. There's about 500 cameras floating around. They're doing a great job.
So Wrigley also on the forehand commentary side.
Yeah, good bowl this one too. He wants to take it with him. He's not going to take it with him. He's just going to get nice and close to it though.
It's a great shot. Tough now for Gerrin. Lights are out on the jack a little bit, so nearly lights out.
We might, we'll try and give you some score updates with the fours as well. The fours are currently playing their final next drink over, so we'll keep you updated on that as well throughout the afternoon. The Newry team versus the Gladstone, Laura or Abra team. Licorice all sorts I've been calling them.
So Wrigley looks like he's...
Yeah, good bowl here too.
Ducking
out the
for
back.
cover.
Yeah, just position bowl. Currently holding 2. Throws the insurance policy out the back.
So Jenke, can he make some contact on the front? It's a great effort, not quite enough of a touch to do any real damage or change. So it looks like it's going to be 2 shots to Wrigley here, which will get him out to a 3-0 lead, 2 ends played.
Good start to the game by the Streaky Bay bowler. Got viewers from Gladstone, Missouri, Bundaberg, Strathalbyn. We've got viewers from all over the place here, Isaac.
That's the way. If you
got any relatives in Missouri?
You know what? I don't think I do. If you are tuning in, let us know in the comments where you're tuning in from. It's always fantastic to see how regional, interstate, international these streams always go.
I'm going to have a dig at you now, Isaac. I had a perfect opportunity as Wrigley puts down one beautifully. He's going to just nick. No, he's not. He just misses nicking the kitty on the way past, but he's gone through just over a foot, just over 30 centimetres for those people that would rather metric, but gave you a perfect opportunity to mention one of the sponsors earlier on, mentioning the fact that earlier on that Mark Wrigley put one back for an insurance policy. There was a perfect opportunity for you to come in and mention one of the great sponsors of Country Carnival.
Yeah, that's a very good point, Chook.
Yeah.
MGA, of course, great sponsors and have been long time supporters of country bowls here in South Australia. I know they're tied in with a lot of clubs in South Australia, and if there's any clubs out there who are looking at a new insurance policy or want to know more, feel free to reach out to us at Bowls SA or head straight to the MGA website and I'll sort you out.
I've actually got car insurance with MGA. I nearly needed it this morning coming to Marion Bowling Club, to be honest. But anyway, we'll talk about that off air. Andrew Watson's tuned in from Wirralur. G'day, Andrew. It's currently holding one is Streaky Bay bowler Mark Wrigley. Currently he's holding two. The marker is showing an indication. If you're just joining us for the first time, Mark Wrigley winning his semi-final 21-20 in an absolute cliffhanger. And Gerrin Jenke winning, I'm going to go by memory, by 11 shots. Is that right, Isaac? I should know because we were commentating it, but
I'm pretty sure it was 11 shots, yes.
Against the player from McLaren Vale, Les Carter, who it was an 11-shot win to Jenke in the semi-final, but it didn't look like that as far as the standard of the game. It was a very, very good game of bowls. Jenke getting the shots in at the right time in the right place. Speaking of Jenke, he puts his down. Just cut across. Probably good enough to be shot. Yep, the marker's giving an early indication to say that the shot is there with the last bowl. Damon Edmonds tuned in from Streaky, obviously watching his mate Mark Wrigley as he's about to put down this bowl, which is his fourth and final one for this end. Looks like it's going to cut across. Is it going to get a help with a bit of a ricochet? Just a little bit of a help, but still one shot currently to Jenke. Nathan Black's watching. G'day, Nathan. Of course, originally from the Northwestern Bowls Association. Yeah, good bowl here too. Yeah, well bowled. Sneaks it in for two. Now we won't mention. Are we going to mention the marker's name because we blew it last time? We were calling a bloke Paul and his name was Ray. And do we know the markers? Do we know the marker, Isaac?
We're lucky enough that it's on the screen now, but we did definitely know this prior. This is Jane from Hawthorn Bowling Club. The Guernsey obviously giving that away. But I did know that prior. I was 100% certain on that one.
Apologies to Paul, whoever Paul was that we were calling, because it wasn't Paul at all. It was Ray in the last game. But
sure, Gerrin, sigh of relief there. Lost the first two ends and was just scratching a little bit to find it. Really nailed that last one in particular. Just nailed that bowl for two. I'm sure he's put a little bit of mind at ease, though Just falling short on his first attempt here.
Rob Riley from the Gladstone Bowling Club. I know Rob very well. G'day, Rob. Howard and Val Andrew from Moonta are also watching the coverage, which is great to see as Wrigley puts in an absolute beauty. Perfect line. Probably about 15 centimetres or so behind the jack. Jenke follows him down. Has it got the legs? Has it got the roll? It's close but no cigar. The marker shows Mark Wrigley the fact that he's holding one. Wrigley asking the marker how far in front of the jack is that last bowl of Jenke's.
Yeah, both hands a little bit blocked up at the moment with Jenke's first 2 attempts, forehand and, I mean, the backhand, you probably clear that 9 times out of 10. Is the tighter hand. It's a great shot.
Gee, that is a very good bowl. That is a very good bowl by Wrigley. And Jenke just says, well bowled, mate, on the way up to the mat.
Good to see Mark's stickers are reasonably well placed in the centre. One did look a fair way off. Jenke playing weight here.
G'day to Kathy Love from Sojourner, who's tuned in. Yeah, for those people tuning in for the first time, Isaac Trenorden from Bowls SA, who's invited me to come and sit next to him, he's not happy with Gerrin Jenke's stickers on his bowls. They aren't quite lined up perfectly, and it's been a talking point. Certainly hasn't affected his bowls.
No, definitely not.
3-2 is the score currently in the 4s on the rink across from us, with Newry currently leading 3-2, which is also the score here in favour of Mark Wrigley.
Yeah,
Jenke puts one down. Looks like it's on track. Oh.
Having another little tickle at it, just missing underneath. First attempt obviously a little bit wider with more speed. That one played a little bit less. Just missing underneath. So can Mark replicate bowl 1 and 2 here to get 3 shots? On the backhand. Reasonable track.
Weight's the only issue. Is he got the weight? I reckon he has. Gee, I tell you what, that's good bowls. And the crowd like it as well. You can probably hear the clapping in the distance of the crowd. There is a good crowd here.
Yep, you nod your head to that. That's 3. Well, that's a perfect end, really, isn't it? 3 on, had 1 behind. Knew Gerrin was going to play some weight. Takes himself to 6 shots. Gerrin Jenke 2, 4 ends played.
The wind certainly a little bit gustier and a little bit stronger than what it was earlier on this afternoon for the semi-finals. But the quality of the bowls certainly hasn't been affected by the wind direction or speed, because good quality bowls from both bowlers. Marker just respotting the kitty. Just lost a bit of direction there for a while, so she's all under control now. Mark Wrigley sets up to the plate. Ready to bowl his first. Currently leading by 4. Be a lot of people from Streaky watching this game, I can guarantee, whether it be on the live stream or actually here live. Saw Sue Rumbelow earlier on, sitting next to her for lunch. Good gathering of support for all the players here. As Jenke puts one on the forehand. Going to be working its way into the breeze slightly. Good bowl.
It's a reasonable reply. I wonder if he didn't play that hand much in the first game, Chook, and hasn't really played it much in this game. So I wonder if that first one of Mark's maybe was just in his eye line, or there was a bit of a concern at some stage he might crash into it and or might have to change. So just opted to change early.
Just had a couple of text messages respect to the pairs. The score is currently 3-2 in favour of the Newry team. Very close contest there against the Laura Gladstone Warabra team. As Wrigley puts his second one down, just cutting across slightly. Well, we'll keep you updated with the four score as we go along. Big cheerio to Steve Canello from the Millicent Bowling Club. We're covering the whole of South Australia, Missouri. We're all over the world, Isaac. Salisbury bowler has sent through a message to say that that they're watching as Jenke puts down a ripper to take shot. He's currently trailing by 4. Marker holds up the 1, saying that Jenke holds it. Mark Wrigley. We heard a bit about Gerrin Jenke before. Do you know much about Mark Wrigley as far as Country Carnival, past carnivals? Is he a frequent flyer? Is he, Isaac?
I think he is a frequent flyer, mate. To be honest, I don't know a huge amount about Mark. Pretty sure he's been in their round robin team as more or less a bit of a staple in that team for a while now. Unfortunately, outside of that, I don't know a whole lot.
Well, you do know that he's a good bowler.
Oh,
he's a very good bowler, and he's currently leading by 4. He's down 1 on the count as far as this end goes, and he might even be down by more after this one. That's a nice bowl, probably second wood, you would think. Giving him 2. Marker's not sure. 1 and a measure was the call in favour of Jenke. Mark Wrigley goes on the forehand. Once again working into that breeze. Jenke with his 4th and final bowl this end. He definitely holds 1, probably 2, and he wants to add to it. And I'll tell you what, he's all about his speed. His line's perfect. That's a good bowl, and I reckon there might be a measuring tape involved here, I think.
Yeah, probably got the jack just a little bit too far to really capitalise on a potential 3 there. Interesting how this one pans out.
How good's your eye? How good's your eye? What would you give it to? I mean, we're looking at a monitor. We're not there like the marker is. There's 2 that have been kicked away that are definite. That's a no-brainer. Let's have a look to see as Jenke gets down to do the measuring. I'm going to call 3, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's not. They've already taken away 2. It's only the 2. What's the rules for those people that don't know much about bowls? What's the rules, Isaac, on who measures? If you want to know, you measure it. How does it work in that situation? Why? How would you pick who goes down to do the measuring?
I mean, that's the way I've always operated, mate. That's, I guess,
if
the way
if you want it, you measure it.
That's the way I was taught.
Yep.
If you want it, you measure it.
Yep. I think that was the way I was taught as well, but it also comes down to the person who you're playing with as to how good their knees are and so on and so forth. Exactly
right. I think myself being younger and even Gerrin being younger, he may be measuring everything in this game. You never know.
I'm in a situation when I go down to measure, it takes me about a forklift and 25 minutes to get back up again. So.
Jenke on the tighter hand here and a fantastic start.
Good start. Now, for those people that are wondering, that might be asking about pairs, just explain to our listeners and viewers the pair situation, Isaac, because of multiple players playing in more than one, as Wrigley's done very well there. Jack high with a bit of help with a ricochet, but lovely bowl, as you can see the replay here. But what's the setup now? We've got the fours final on now. We've got the singles final on, and what's the situation after that, Isaac?
Yeah, it's a good question. So I guess earlier we had obviously Les Carter in the singles in the semi-final, who is involved in the pairs, and Todd Brand, who's currently playing the fours, who's also involved in the pairs. So once this game, Todd obviously being involved in the pairs, once they finish, we'll get the pairs underway.
And that will be semi-finals, then final?
Correct, yep.
Gee, so Todd Brand, that's anyone who's playing fours or pairs, it's a fairly long day playing a semi-final and final potentially.
Absolutely. 15 ends for both of those.
David Perryman sending through a message to say that the Jenke Carter game was top quality the whole game, and this one looks like it's heading the same way. We agree with you, David. It's going to be an absolute beauty. We love the messages coming in. Keep them coming in. Let us know where you're listening from. I'm sure Isaac's interested in which parts of South Australia are tuned in as Wrigley. Bowls beautifully to get the second. Currently leads by 2. Gerrin Jenke from Berri. Mark Wrigley from Streaky Bay. Little bit of weight on this, but it's going to cut across. Can Wrigley add to it? He's holding 2.
Yeah, no bowls left after this, so a bit of a free kick here. A little bit of jack movement is okay as long as it goes down the line. Should be impressive if he could do that.
He's just shaking his head. As he's walking down there, he wasn't overly happy with the release. Will be 2 to Wrigley though. Thank you to Bob Scott, sending through a message saying that he's enjoying the final and excellent commentary. So we always like those comments, Isaac.
Absolutely. Thanks, Bob. So Mark now out 8-4, 6 ends played.
We can't take all the credit, of course, Isaac, because if it wasn't for a space quake, if it wasn't for Space Quake, our job would be a lot harder, and they do a very good job. And that's just repeating, that's not Space Quack, it's Space Quake live streaming. They're doing a very good job. Cameras everywhere, and makes our job very easy. Although I'd like them to change their name because I keep on saying it wrong. Yeah, Space Quake doing a very good job, as is Mark Wrigley. Score is now 8-4, showing 6-4 on the scoreboard, but it is 8-4. And I tell you what, he wants to add to it with a beautiful bowl. He is playing an exceptional game at the moment.
Yeah, stiff to just pop the jack out a little bit then. That's a perfect, literally perfect bowl. All of a sudden, it looks like he's thrown a bowl wide and jack high. It's a pretty good response from Jenke.
Just setting up for maybe something a little bit later on, maybe out there. Streaky Bay's Mark Wrigley, very deliberate, very nice release, and it looks like it's on track, although it is going to cut away a bit. fours currently, score is 3-4 after 3 ends. And that's in favour of the Gladstone Warabra Laura team over the top of Newry currently. 4-3 is the score there. 3 ends. As Jenke puts down a beautiful bowl, but it's going to be a little bit short. It's not that beautiful in the end. It's I thought it had a bit more weight on it than that, Isaac.
Yeah, commentator's curse, that one, isn't it? Call it early accidentally.
Yeah, a premature call. They're favouring that forehand. Jenke's last bowl probably blocked the backhand at any rate, you would think, but that's going to come around nicely. That doubles his shots. In fact, he might even be sneaking almost a third. Jenke coming on the forehand again.
Yeah, so just doesn't. I was going to say, doesn't want to be short here, which he isn't. He also sliding through, so still going to be 2 down. Look, he's got 2 at the back, so it does open the opportunities up potentially.
Well, if Les Carter was playing, he'd do a hell ball, because I reckon he did about 20 hell balls during the semi-final and was hitting a majority of them. I think we had 4 dead ends, didn't we?
I think we did, yes.
Now we're talking about insurance policies again. I think Wrigley, he might be sensing there might be something with a bit of weight coming in.
It's a good shot too. He's really gone all the way back. It forces Gerrin now to play more of a finesse weight through. Can't just plough through and get the jack back.
Now Gerrin Jenke just asked the marker what's the setup, and the marker said it'd be 2 and a measure. I think it'll only be the 2 from the naked eye. But let's see how he... Doesn't look like it's wide enough.
Yeah, really just lacking the speed, I guess, more than anything, right? 2 down, 4 or 5 feet short. It's probably not in the textbook, but we'll play on.
Marcus said that might be a measure for 3, but I don't know whether the measure will come out. I think it is only 2, and yeah, Mark Wrigley agrees with that. Says, yep, only the 2. Kicking the bowls back, placing the mat where he wants, and we'll go again. Newry have just taken the lead in the 4s after 4 ends. They're up by 1 shot. That's if the scoreboard over there is correct, of course. 5-4. The scoreboard here shows Mark Wrigley from Streaky 10-4 up against Berri's Gerrin Jenke.
So Mark, staying on that tighter hand, like you said earlier, Chook, they've favoured that this game, whereas the previous game they probably favoured the commentary box side more so.
What? Why is that? Like, I'm not experienced enough in bowls to know. Why do you think that's changed since before lunch to after lunch? Is there a reason behind it?
That's a good question.
Because the breeze isn't that much stronger. It is a little bit stronger, but the breeze isn't having that big an effect, is it?
Yeah, it's hard to say. I think it probably is changing it slightly. But look, both hands are drawing beautifully and a long way. But it's hard to say if that's maybe just personal preference, I guess.
Big cheerio to the curator here at Marion. He's put on he or she or whoever the curators are have done a marvellous job. It's a beautiful bowling green, but I suppose when you start talking about bowling greens around this area, most of them are beautiful, aren't they? Some good decks. Just making its way through.
Yeah, four really good greens here for the round robin this week, Chook. They've even all morning today they've been here prepping the other 3 in time for tomorrow morning's round robin to kick off.
It's like a religion, isn't it? The curators, they look after these greens like they're a baby or a child it's unbelievable the work and the effort they put in.
Certainly.
And credit to all of those curators out there, because there's a lot of bowling greens that have a lot of volunteer hours in regional areas. A lot of volunteer hours get put into bowling greens Absolutely magnificent.
So Mark just sliding through again. Pretty reasonable head setup for him. So can Jenke correct on his first two? It doesn't look like this one's going to be a whole lot better. Pinching the line once again. Tough one here for Mark. He's got shot and probably third wood here, so doesn't want Gerrin to come through and sit that shot bowl. Would like second wood or jack movement, but pinched his line. Speed was immaculate. So a change of hand here for Jenke. Dare say we've got a little bit of weight behind this, trying to sit that bowl through. This is his own coming up.
Oh, I just hit the wrong angle. Wrong angle of the dangle as far as hitting his own bowl. Still going to be one to Wrigley. Now, we were talking about Spacequake before and how they good job. Now, we need to name these cameramen that are standing out in the sun. Isaac, do you know the cameraman's name?
Couldn't tell you, I'm sorry.
We've got a producer, we've got a camera here in front of us, we've got two cameras either end. Not sure whether they're being overly sun smart, the two out in the open. We need to get an umbrella. Oh, they've got sunscreen. We've just been told they've got sunscreen and aerogard. Once again, Isaac Schnauden from Bowls SA here commentating with myself, Chuck Haslett, and we've got the easy job. The harder job is what Spacequake are doing for us, and they're doing a very good job with the coverage. So big cheerio to all those guys that are involved. As another siren goes by, Isaac.
And we didn't count any while we were in at lunch.
No, we didn't. There were a few during lunch. Speaking of sirens, we mentioned it earlier, all a big cheerio to those people up at Wilmington that have just, as far as the fires up there is concerned, our thoughts go out to anyone who's volunteering their time with CFS and those great volunteer services. As Jenke, so we've got Eric, who's the producer, and we've got Brandon, Simon and Tom. They're on the cameras. So a big cheerio to the four of them from Spacequake. They're doing a marvellous job. And because we're mentioning them so often, they've guaranteed that they're going to reduce the cost by 20%. No, they're doing a marvellous job. As they came here, as Mark Wrigley goes towards the commentary box on the backhand, trying to give it a bit of a nudge, the shot bowl of Jenke's, just missing and going through. Lisa McAvoy, popular, very famous name, McAvoy in the Streaky Bay area. G'day, Lisa. She's watching from Streaky at the moment.
All right, so what has Gerrin got here? Can he correct on his first one? Just needs another roll. He's played it pretty well.
He's done it beautifully.
Oh, he'd be feeling a bit stiff to have latched on and fallen backwards.
Is that a target?
It is a bit of a target.
Is that a target for Mark? As while we're talking about some of the good work, we've got Lucy behind us taking photos. The photos of Bowls SA. You can get on the Facebook page and see all the great photos of what. Oh, this is going to come around beautifully. That is. Oh, it's on track. Gave it a shave. Almost a perfect bowl from Wrigley. But, yeah, you're going to take some of the credits for some of the photos too. Not just Lucy, it's you as well. As Lucy's in the background, I reckon she can hear us. She can almost hear us, I reckon. But some of the photo shots have been magnificent during the week. Absolutely magnificent.
They certainly have. So important for Gerrin to change this up a little bit. Bit of a target, has nothing past. He's played it pretty well. He has played it pretty well. He
liked it. He followed it down when he let loose.
And that's probably the first one I think he's followed all day, Chook.
Yep.
So it looks like he's holding 3 shots currently.
Now, Mark Wrigley has decided, right, Well, I don't need to ask any questions. I want to go down and find out for myself. So he's come down and had a look. He's gone to the left. He's gone to the right. He's gone back to the left. He's shaking his head as if to say, right, well, what are my options? And he'll think about it as he walks past us and walks back to the mat to bowl his fourth and final bowl this end. Currently leading by 7. Newry currently leading by 2 after 5 ends in the 4s. Wrigley steps up to the mat. Looks like he's going to go backhand. With a little bit of speed.
I was going to say, this is definitely over the draw weight. Can he get a roll or two out of this shot bowl or get the jack on the move?
He's gone a bit wide.
It's a great effort. He's going to be 3 shots with Gerrin Jenke, 1 bowl to come. What do you reckon, Chook? Probably got 3 or so feet to draw a 4th wood here.
Yeah. He'll probably come in. He'll probably come in and use his own just to rest against, you would think. But no. Oh, he's going. I thought he would have gone backhand, but he's going forehand. Wouldn't go backhand just in case he dragged it back to Wrigley's at the back there. But following this one down, it's on track. It's all about weight. It is all about weight, and his weight is cherry ripe. That'll be 4, you would think, Isaac. Don't think there'd be a need for a measure, do you?
No, it looks like 4 to me. Always tough with the camera, but no
there it
measure
is.
out. And 4 shots. There's the biggest score for today.
That's the highest number you've written down.
In the left column.
In the left column, yeah.
So Gerrin now up to 8 shots, 8-11, 9 ends played.
We expected a beauty, and it is a beauty. Very good quality game.
These players, Chook, have won the last 6 games to get to this final. Of course, we had sectional play to start with, and then 6 knockouts to get to this point.
Gee. It's not a bad start. Almost perfect line. Once again, we mentioned it during the morning, but the dates for the Country Carnival next year have already been set, so you can't register yet, but get planning. Book in for your accommodation early. You can always cancel it or change it. Over 750 participants this year, and I'm not only just saying this because I'm sitting next to you, but you and Bowls have done a marvellous job, I think, particularly with the hot days that we had, particularly on the Monday, where things got adjusted to play earlier. I think most of the bowlers would be very happy with the way the week's gone. Even though in my particular case, my bowls were pretty ordinary, but still had a fantastic week. It's not all about bowls, it's about the social side of things as well, and meeting up with people that you haven't seen for a while. And I know a lot of people have got the same attitude towards it. It's
the beauty of the Country Carnival.
It's a great week. It is a really good week. And speaking of really good, this is a really good bowl. And this is a really good bowl for shot. Fell in beautifully. You can hear a bit of clapping in the background. There's a good crowd here. Jenke going the backhand.
Can afford to arrive here. Sit the bowl. Jack is good. Not far away.
Whiz, that's a very, very good bowl. Get the chalk out again. This carnival's sponsored by MGA and others. Well, I don't know whether. Don't put the dodgy stickers on the screen. Isaac will go crazy. But anyway, you could almost get a sponsorship out of anyone that's producing chalk.
Very true.
The amount of chalk that's been thrown around this morning and this afternoon, the bowls have been magnificent.
It's a Pretty good attempt there from Mark. A little bit stiff. Would have liked a little bit of movement on his front bowl once he saw it was going under.
You can hear the breeze, or the gusty breeze in the effects mics of Space Quake. I've set up the mics everywhere and you can hear the breeze. It is a little bit tricky, blustery. Now, what's Wrigley going to do?
Can only assume he's going to be on that backhand again, just looking to be just over the draw. Can turn his own, sit that shot bowl through, even gets a little bit of movement on the jack. Looks to be underneath.
Going to be 1 to Jenke. Bring the margin back to 2.
That's it. 11-9, 10 ends played. Down here at the Marion Bowling Club for the Men's Country Carnival Singles Final. If you are in the area, if you're coming down for the round robin this week, drop through the Marion Bowling Club. We've got the pairs to follow after this. Unfortunately, it won't be streamed, but 2 cracking semi-finals, no doubt.
The beer's cold, the beer's cheap, so are the soft drinks. No reason why you shouldn't come to Marion.
Very true.
It's a great afternoon, and there's already a good crowd here. It's really good.
And if you came here earlier, you could have enjoyed a beautiful bowling club lunch.
Yes. Not sure whether the ice cream on the fruit salad was Golden North ice cream, but I'd like to think it was. But, yeah.
Can tell everyone.
Yeah, we'll tell everyone.
It's like everyone here is drinking Coopers.
Yeah, that's right.
So Jenke getting end 11 underway with a very good start. Looks like Mark's just ducked off to the bathroom.
He might have gone on toilet break. One thing that you got to remember from earlier on, and once again it might come down to nerves or experience, I'm not sure, but Mark Wrigley played an absolute cliffhanger in the semi-final, so we know what his nerves are like. He had nerves of steel in that game against Gary Smith in the semi-final, so if it's close you think that those sort of nerves and management of nerves are going to be okay. Jenke, on the other hand, he had an easy, as it turned out, I'm going to say it was easy. It wasn't easy, but it ended up being a 10 or 11 shot win. So nerves and confidence might come into it. And I'm not sure what he did during the toilet break, but it hasn't ruined his bowls. That was another beauty. Big cheerio to everyone sending comments and messages. We appreciate the feedback. Spacequake doing a great job as far as the live streaming is concerned, and just a little short. Just another couple of rolls would have been nice for Jenke. Marker just signalling yes, definitely still 1 to the Streaky Bay bowler, Mark Wrigley. Newry have taken a 9-4 lead after 6 ends. That is, of course, if I'm reading the scoreboard right. Is that right, Isaac?
I believe that is correct, yes.
Yep. And lovely bowl by Wrigley again. That gives him 2. Gee, I'll tell you what, 2 very good bowls.
Yeah, it's interesting how his first and second bowl pressure has been really, really good in this game from Mark Wrigley. And you take a look at the first stream we had, Gerrin had that role. His first and second bowl were just absolutely brilliant every end. And really put the pressure on Les Carter. We've got a reverse here.
Yep.
Mark Wrigley's really putting the pressure on Gerrin, and he's really had to search for a lot of the shots he's getting because he's under that pressure early. I dare say this one will be just a little bit quicker than his first 2 attempts. Just trying to sneak something past.
Gee, he's done it well. He's done it really well. On song. Holding 3 with 1 to come from each bowler. Jenke comes on the backhand, goes past us at the commentary box, makes its way down to the cluster.
Oh, will it turn enough?
I reckon he's going to cut 1 or 2 out. Oh, has he? Oh, has he? I don't think he has.
It's a beautiful attempt. You know, he latches onto that with a bit more, gets a bit thicker. He probably sticks around to be one down,
You could
if
have,
not the shot.
Yeah, you could have put money on it early as it was making its way down that it was on target, but Wrigley still with the advantage. He goes forehand. He wants to meet up with his other two that he's got there on the left-hand side of screen, as you can see, but that's not going to be in the count.
Yeah, speed was brilliant. Maybe just tried to be on the safe side in terms of line. But he collects 3 shots, takes him to 14, and charging his way towards 21.
Val Andrews has asked us for the dates of the Country Carnival for next year. Have you got them off the top of your head? I was going to say the 2nd of February, but I don't know whether that's right. So we might do some research in that and announce them very shortly for you, Val.
Yep. It is available on the Bowls SA website if you do want to jump on and have a look.
Yep, Bowls SA website if you'd like to have a look. I was guessing the 2nd or 3rd of February is when it starts, but I might be completely wrong, so don't take that as gospel. But it is on the Bowls SA website. Forehand by Wrigley. Slightly longer end he's gone for this time. And his bowl is short. Wind gust increasing. As you're looking at the screen, the wind is going from left to right. And that's a beautiful bowl by Jenke. Currently trails by 5 overall. Wrigley, Mark Wrigley from Streaky, goes on the backhand as well. Looks to be slightly narrow, but he might get a glide off his own, which he does. And that's going to come around and probably get the measuring tape involved. As the marker's asked who's holding shot, the marker has said that Gerrin's probably holding shot. Steps up to the plate for his second. Makes his way off the mat, follows his bowl down visually. It's not going to come around enough, I don't think. It's going to head out the back, which probably won't be a bad spot, to be honest.
Felt like that had a little bit more speed on it than what it truly did there. Looked like it probably had another 2 or 3 feet.
A little bit misleading. How many people are here watching? 70, 80?
Yeah, well,
good crowd.
There's probably 30 outside, maybe just more than that, but there'd be at least that many inside as well.
Yep.
So Wrigley on the backhand here. Can and does he have the weight?
Just to nudge his own up.
It's a great effort. Didn't quite get the full rotation he would have liked.
Mark has asked again who's holding shot, and she doesn't know. She's either dancing or she's moving her hands to say the measurements were required. Do you think? I don't think she'd be dancing, to be honest.
Can't imagine.
No.
Not a whole lot of music at the moment.
No. Dancing to the beat of the cars driving past on Anzac Highway. No, not Anzac Highway. Is that it? No. What's that?
Marion Road.
Marion Road, sorry.
Yep.
How well am I going? Anyway, cuts across. Now the measuring tape will come out.
No, it's still got bowl each. It'd be interesting, though.
They're both coming down to have a look.
Yeah, it'd be interesting what Mark elects to play here. I mean, both his bowls are still coming up on that backhand. We see here looking from the mat end. So this is what the bowler would see when he gets down there to play. So he's still got his bowls to pump up.
Yeah, I didn't realise they still had one left. The other monitor was in the way of the other bowls, but I like the fact that both of them went down and had a look, because it's an important stage of the game, isn't it? It's such an important stage of the game.
Certainly. Both players really with an opportunity to make a 3 here.
What would you do here?
Play it right.
If you were Mark Wrigley, would you come on forehand and just try and rest, or would you be worried about knocking it in further?
No,
what would you do?
I'll be backhand tight and heavy. Tight and heavy every day of the week. I'd just be raking through. Both your bowls coming up, you're a bit tight, you sit there, bowls. Sort of all happens as long as you arrive on the backhand.
He's gone on the backhand. He's following it down halfway. It's gone through the gate. Just looking at it from the monitor, which is not a good thing for me to be doing, and probably not a good thing for me to be commenting on. But I would favour Wrigley's. I'd favour Wrigley's as on the right of screen, but once again, I've been wrong plenty of times before.
It's always a tough one. It'd be interesting how Gerrin sees his track into this head. Obviously, Mark does have that short one on the forehand. Wonder if there's a track just around it or just under it to get a little bit of movement on the jack.
As mentioned earlier, the umpire's already said that it's a measure. She couldn't tell from just looking at it.
So he's on the backhand here, looking to play just over the draw, maybe sit a bowl through. I guess he sits the wide one through his happy days.
Oh.
Gets the front one and rolls on a little for the absoluter.
That's good bowling. That is very good bowling. Now, once again, I would think it may not be needed for shot bowl, but it'll certainly be needed if he wants anything more than one. Yep, out comes the tape. Gee, not only the pressure of doing the tape while your partner's watching, there's heaps of people watching on the live stream as he's doing it too. I hope he hasn't got shaky hands. Just the one.
Just got a glimpse of that. No touch on that bowl, which does confirm just the one shot. But it does get him to double figures. 12 ends played, 10-14. Great replay there of Gerrin's last bowl. So getting us underway, 13th end here. Speed's fantastic. Just a touch tight. Be a little bit stiff. The wind's sort of a little bit on and off here, Chook. Could be why we see a little bit of difference in the standard and the tracks and lines that we are seeing. It's well played here from Mark.
Jack high. Holding the shot. Leads by 4, Wrigley. Jenke goes on the forehand again.
Not sure if he's got the speed on this one, I don't think.
Yeah, going to be a bit short. He's tuning in for the first time. This is the final. Both of these players played their semi-finals this morning. I'm going to say an hour break, roughly. Roughly, was it an hour?
Yeah.
45 minutes an hour?
For the singles, I reckon we were off for about 45 minutes.
So semi-final this morning and now the final. And this is a lovely looking bowl as well. Once again, probably a little bit short, and it is. Good enough to be 2 for Wrigley. Thank you to everyone who's sending through comments and messages. We appreciate you. Hopefully you're enjoying the coverage as Jenke sends down his third.
So, Chook, I've had a quick look at all of the results, and there's plenty of results to go through when you look at the
Yes.
records of the Country Carnival. Obviously, starting in maybe not obvious, but starting in 1936. So it's probably didn't have to go too far back to find any of Gerrin's records in the Country Carnival. But if either of the winning player in this will be their first Country Carnival title.
Oh, there you go. Very good. Good stats too there, Isaac. 1936. Well, there you go. What does that make it? 89 years.
I think so.
Yeah, very good. How good's my maths? Oh, this is on track beautifully. All about weight. And it is almost perfect. Lovely bowl. The marker, yeah, no, Isaac's not happy with the way that sticker's positioned. There's no cameras on us with you pointing at the monitor. You don't like those stickers not being on properly.
Perfect.
They're not on perfect. Yeah. I hadn't noticed it, but you've picked up on it early.
So, Mark, can he turn back to this shot bowl? Can work off this and make it happen.
Oh, good try. It'll be one to Jenke. Oh, no, you don't. No, you don't. The guys at Spacequake have just asked whether we want to spin the camera around to show you and I, and my answer is no. We certainly don't want to do that. We want our viewers to enjoy the bowls, not be put off by by the people on the other side of the camera.
Well, I very keenly wrote one on the scorecard, but got to measure. And it looks like it's actually going to be two shots.
Two. Gee, that was misleading.
So 13 ends played, 12-14. Of course, first to 21.
Yep.
Men's Country Carnival singles. We're down here at Marion Bowling Club. So if you are in the area, we've still got the pairs semi-final and pairs final to come.
Big cheerio to everyone at the Marion Bowling Club too, because they've looked after us beautifully. Well done to everyone involved. Bowls SA has done a great job this week running Carnival, and all the clubs that I've been at have been very supportive and really happy to see the country bowlers, which is great to see. Jenke puts his first one down, a little short for his liking. Bit of a shorter end as well. Currently trails by 2. Wrigley steps up to the mat. Not sure whether the scoreboard is updated on the pairs, but as Wrigley puts down one with a little bit more weight on it, goes out the back by about 3 to 4 feet. The fours are showing Newry are up 9-5 after 7 ends, but I can't guarantee the scoreboard has been updated on that, so we'll keep you updated on it once it gets changed. As Jenke is going to take the kitty with him. It's a lovely bowl. Almost stays with it. What's Mark Wrigley got up his sleeve? Currently leads by 2 overall. It's on track. It's a lovely looking bowl, but it's just going to sneak past. It's all a matter of centimetres and millimetres in the cases of these bowlers. They're bowling very, very well. Jenke comes in. He's gone the forehand. Gone a bit wide and a bit short. Wrigley puts down his third bowl this end.
Still looks to be a touch wide for what I can only assume he's trying to get a bit of jack movement here.
He's the only one that's got anything behind the kitty, which will probably play in the mind of Jenke, you would think. Does he need to put one out the back?
Just sliding past. He's probably going to do enough to count.
Yep.
And
fall over for 2.
Yeah, is it going to be enough, though? It does look tricky for Mark to get all of the jack. He's probably only going to get it sort of just on the edge. So it'd be interesting if that last one of Gerrin's almost plays as like a first slip.
Yep.
For the jack on its way through. 2 down. Looks wide again.
Don't know whether he's got the weight either. Oh, yeah, he's got the weight all right. I'll tell you what, it's not a bad effort. Fall over, it'll make it interesting.
Wow, what a great shot.
Yep. Well done. Great bowling. No need for a measurement.
Enough for shot.
That was a very good bowl. I was thinking it didn't quite have the weight to get the job done that they needed, but it was absolutely beautiful.
So 15-12, 14 ends played.
The Arthurton Bowling Club has sent through a message on comments saying that the game has been very entertaining, but was just wondering whether it was as good as the Super Bowl halftime entertainment. I reckon we're a lot better than the halftime entertainment at the Super Bowl. Isaac?
Similar budgets, though.
Yeah. Yes. And we're not dressed up as well as well. It's first to 21. Doesn't matter how many ends they play. First to 21. And Wrigley has started nicely again. Just going through, cutting across the jack and being around 2.5 feet away from the kitty. High quality game from 2 high quality bowlers.
So Gerrin, commentary box side. Track is very good. Just going to run out of the legs. It's quite interesting, actually, Chook, how both these players sort of have set up their heads. You look at Mark, when he gets 1 or 2 really close ones, he often throws one back to cover.
Yep.
Whereas Gerrin hasn't really played that same sort of game style. Now, it could have just been the way that most of these heads have been set up. But I just found it interesting, especially like that last end we just watched. Wrigley had all 3 bowls passed, and Jenke didn't have anything past the jack. Still elected to just try and draw it off.
Yep. A couple of different styles.
A bit of an overcorrection
here.
here.
Yeah, it's gone out the back. Marker has just said that Wrigley is holding the shot. Once again, the marker's not allowed to give too much information. She can say yes or no, and she can maybe show an indication on who's holding shot, but she can't give too much information away. She needs to remain neutral as Wrigley pushes one through. If the marker's expectations are something to go by, Wrigley is holding 1. Currently leading by 3. First to 21 is the winner. This is the grand final, and it's an absolute beauty. This is nicely on track. Once again, all about the weight. Marker's once again been asked by Mark Wrigley who's holding the shot. The marker has held up the hand to say you're holding. Once again, it's not guaranteed, but it's her opinion. To the best of her ability, she says that Mark Wrigley is holding 1. Both bowlers got 1 in hand. Wrigley's let go of it.
It's always a good one to test the waters early. When you play a game of singles with your marker, you know, how short is this bowl? And then when you get up there, just make sure the story checks out.
Yep. Now, the question's been asked of the marker by 1 and a measure is the answer. The question was asked by Gerrin Jenke, what's the setup? 1 and a measure down was the response from the marker, whose name is Isaac. Can you remember who you said it was before?
Jane.
Jane, who's doing a good job. It's going to go through. 1 and a measure was the call by the marker. Now it'll be in a situation of finding out exactly what the call is as far as the score goes. Obviously confident with 1. He takes 1 out. And this is where the measure comes in. Yep, they're going to ask for the measure. Mark Wrigley wants it, so he's going to be the one measuring it. Too close to call from the angle that we're seeing.
Yeah, definitely. Good call to measure.
Yep.
2 shots.
Well done by Jane as well. She was spot on. It needed a measure to make a decision, and that's exactly what happened.
That's it. So 15 ends played, 17-12 in favour of Mark Wrigley from Streaky Bay.
Getting messages from people all around the world that have tuned in. Mark from the Philippines. Cheerio to everyone sending through messages. We've had Brazil, we've had Missouri, we've had all sorts of different destinations around the world, and of course all the local clubs around regional South Australia as well. Hopefully you're enjoying the coverage.
That's it. And if you are tuning in from anywhere that's not Adelaide Metro, let us know where you're tuning in from.
And if you don't like the coverage, don't worry about letting us know. Tell us later.
That's it. Turn it off and watch the Super Bowl.
Yeah, well done by Jenke. He currently trails by 5, first to 21.
So Mark just looking to make a slight correction on his first attempt. Doesn't need to change a whole lot. He's played it well.
Yeah, well bowled. Just those people that are tuning in for the first time. Mark Wrigley winning on the last bowl. It was 20 all. He was down by 3. And he came in and got the shot to make it 21-20 against Gary Smith. It was an absolute beauty of a game. And Gerrin Jenke, he had a good win over Les Carter by 10 or 11 shots earlier on this morning. 2 very high-class semi-finals, followed by this fantastic final. It's been an absolute pleasure to be here and watch it. Geraldine's and Penola. Good sportsmanship by both players involved, and gee, we've witnessed a very good couple of semi-finals, and we've just witnessed a very good final, Isaac.
We certainly have, mate. Chook, it's been a pleasure to have you on. Thank you very much for coming all the way down to Adelaide to commentate these 2 games with me. It's been a pleasure. I'm sure we'll have you back on it again soon.
No worries at all, mate. And the fours update, once again, 13-5 is the score currently after 8 ends, so that game's still a bit of way to go. But the fours, currently the Laura Gladstone Warabra team are leading by 8 shots, with a few ends to go, it's got to be said. But Simon, it's been great to catch up with you. I've had an opportunity to talk to you on behalf of the workplace where I work, talking to Bowls SA and leading up to the Carnival, and you've had some issues with heat. You've had a lot of planning to do over the last couple of weeks, but you've always made yourself available to us and have a bit of a chat to us, and I've really enjoyed today. It's been great to see all these lawn bowlers that are about 100 times better than what I can bowl. I've learned a few things, and really enjoyed your company, and it's been a great day. And on behalf of all the regional bowlers, and I know that I don't play as much bowls as I'd like to, but on behalf of all the regional bowlers, on behalf of us, a big thank you to Bowls SA, a big thank you to MGA, a big thank you to all the sponsors that make things possible, and obviously a big thank you to also the bowling clubs in Adelaide that are making us feel so very welcome. It's very much appreciated, and cheerio to Spacequake as well for the live streaming services. But thanks very much, mate. Nice to meet you, and hopefully everyone's enjoyed the coverage.
That's it. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. This has been a great Men's Country Carnival live stream brought to you by Spacequake, Bowls SA and MGA Insurance Group.